The night was electric. The world had never seen a battle quite like this before. Two titans of martial arts, separated by generations yet bound by their mastery of combat, were set to collide in a fight that would be spoken of for decades to come. On one side, the legendary Bruce Lee, the master of Jeet Kune Do, the dragon himself. On the other, Marko Zaror, an explosive martial artist with the agility of a panther and the sheer power of a charging bull. The world held its breath. The ring was an open-air arena, dimly lit under a soft moon. A hush fell over the audience as the announcer called both warriors to the center. Bruce Lee, clad in his signature black kung fu pants, exuded calm confidence. His lithe frame, sculpted through years of intense training, seemed relaxed, yet his sharp gaze revealed an underlying storm ready to explode. Marko Zaror towered over him, his presence commanding. With a physique that looked chiseled from stone, his muscles rippled with raw power. The Chilean martial artist had trained in Taekwondo, Judo, and Muay Thai, blending them into a deadly hybrid style that had made him one of the most feared fighters of his era. He cracked his knuckles, his eyes locked onto Lee with the intensity of a predator sizing up his prey. The referee gave the signal. The battle began. Marko Zaror charged forward like a battering ram, launching a devastating roundhouse kick aimed straight for Lee's head. But in a blur, Bruce ducked. The crowd gasped. His speed was almost inhuman. Before Zaror could react, Lee countered with a lightning-fast sidekick to the ribs. The impact sent a shockwave through the air, but Zaror barely flinched. He took the blow, gritted his teeth, and launched a furious barrage of punches. This was where their strengths and weaknesses first became evident. Zaror was undeniably powerful. His strikes carried the force of a sledgehammer, each one capable of breaking bones. But he relied on brute force and athleticism, whereas Lee was fluid, unpredictable. He weaved in and out of range, his famous footwork making it nearly impossible for Zaror to land a clean shot. As the fight progressed, Zaror adjusted his strategy. He used his Muay Thai clinch, trying to lock Lee in and unleash a barrage of knee strikes. If he could trap the dragon, he could break him. For a brief moment, he succeeded. A crushing knee to the abdomen made Lee grunt in pain. The crowd gasped. Was the legend in trouble? But Lee had something Zaror did not: an instinctive ability to adapt. Using his smaller frame to his advantage, he twisted his body and escaped the clinch with an explosive elbow strike to Zaror's temple. The Chilean stumbled backward, momentarily dazed. Lee followed up with a series of chain punches, his signature Wing Chun strikes landing with pinpoint precision. Zaror's weakness was becoming evident. His power was undeniable, but his defense had gaps. He was accustomed to overwhelming opponents with sheer force, but against a fighter like Lee, who was both faster and more tactical, those openings were being exploited. Zaror roared in frustration. He knew he had to end this fast. He switched tactics, launching into his Taekwondo arsenal. Spinning kicks, aerial attacks, movements that defied gravity. The crowd erupted as he executed a flawless tornado kick, forcing Lee to leap backward. But Lee's reflexes were legendary. He saw an opening. With the speed of a viper, he closed the distance and struck, his infamous one-inch punch, delivered straight to Zaror's chest. The force was unlike anything Zaror had ever felt. His breath was stolen from him. His legs wobbled. For the first time, fear flashed in his eyes. Lee did not relent. With a final, devastating sidekick, he sent Zaror crashing to the mat. The referee counted. The crowd was silent. Then, 10. It was over. The dragon had won. The outcome of this battle wasn't just about strength or skill. It was about philosophy. Marko Zaror was an exceptional fighter, strong, fast, and acrobatic. But he was a specialist, relying heavily on raw power and athleticism. Bruce Lee, however, was a master of adaptability. He could analyze, react, and change his strategy mid-fight. His philosophy of Jeet Kune Do, using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation, gave him an edge over traditional martial artists. Where Zaror relied on the techniques he had trained in, Lee flowed like water, using whatever worked in the moment. His strikes were precise, his movement effortless, his mind sharp as a blade. More than that, Bruce Lee had an unbreakable will. He had faced giants before. He had trained his body and mind to the point where pain and fear were just obstacles to be shattered. Zaror fought with fire, but Lee fought with lightning. And in the end, lightning was faster. As Marko Zaror regained his breath, he looked up at Bruce Lee and nodded in respect. There was no shame in losing to a legend. Lee extended a hand, pulling Zaror to his feet. The crowd roared in appreciation. This was not just a fight, it was a testament to the beauty of martial arts. The world had just witnessed history, and the dragon, once again, had proven why he was the greatest fighter of them all.